Brit glamour model Chloe Ayling, 20, reveals she had her wrists and ankles. A British glamour model drugged and taken captive by dark web kidnappers has revealed she thought she was going to die at the hands of her depraved kidnappers. Glamour model Chloe Ayling, 20, was lured to a fake photo shoot in Milan last month where she was drugged and stuffed inside a bag before being auctioned on the dark web for £270,000. Speaking from her home in London today, Chloe said, "I've been through a terrifying experience. I've feared for my life, second by second, minute by minute, hour by hour. I'm incredibly grateful to the Italian and UK authorities for all they have done to secure my safe release. I have just arrived home after 4 weeks and haven't had time to collect my thoughts. I am not at liberty to say anything further until I have been debriefed by the UK police." Now her account of her ordeal, as told to Italian investigators, has revealed she was informed several potential buyers had been lined up. Chloe said she was told that all girls are for the Arab market, and when the buyer gets fed up of a girl bought at auction, he can gift her to other people, and when of no interest anymore, feed her to tigers. A person with black gloves placed a hand over my mouth from behind while a second person wearing a balaclava gave me an injection in my right arm. I believe I lost consciousness because when I woke up, I was wearing just my pink undershirt made of chenille, and the socks I am now wearing, and I realized I was in the coffin of a car. My ankles and wrists in handcuffs, with a black tape covering my mouth, inside a bag where there was just a small hole and a zipper that allowed me to breathe. They had taken off my jacket, my blue jeans, and sneakers. During the 3-hour drive to Lemmy, near Turin, the car stopped 3 times every 45 minutes because I kept on complaining and moving inside the bag. Chloe said one of the hooded kidnappers wearing a balaclava kept on throwing at her from a bottle sparkling water right into my mouth. British model kidnapped in Milan for dark web auction has spoken about ordeal. She said that one man threatened to give her a second injection if she kept moving, then took the handcuffs off and tied her hands behind her back. Once inside the Lemmy cottage and handcuffed once more to a set of drawers, said lying on the floor on a sleeping bag, after a few minutes a man came into the room. Without his face covered, and he told me in English that in the meantime their boss had called and that he was furious because they had seized the wrong person. I was not meant to be taken because the boss had seen my Instagram profile, which clearly showed that I was a mom with a young boy, and this went against the rules of the organization. Despite being upset with my kidnapping, he explained that this imprisonment could not stop because in the meantime the organization had published in the deep web 2 photos taken shortly after the aggression while I was unconscious, showing the publication on a site called Black Death. The photos confirmed the fact that I was in the hands of the organization, and some users had expressed interest in my sale. Throughout this time she claimed to have encountered 5 different kidnappers, though she only ever saw 2 of them. According to the Italian media reports, one kidnapper, alleged to be her boss, became terrified of angering his bosses after discovering she was a mother. He then returned to the British consulate in Milan, where he was arrested by cops. Today Chloe's lawyer Francesco Pes told The Sun Online, "The girl won't be coming back to Italy, all she had to say, she has said it already to authorities. It must have been terrible for her, a terrible human experience. We went together to inspect the site with the police, to that white cottage in Lemmy. An isolated abandoned ghost town, it was disquieting. But she was strong and recognized the hideous place where she had been jailed. His mother Daria P.S., also representing Chloe, added, "That young girl gave an impeccable testimony of her drama to prosecutors. She was very nervous and a bit under shock, but very brave, coherent, resilient and straightforward in what she was saying. She reiterated everything she had first told the cops with lucidity." Prosecutors are now concentrated on finding accomplices behind the poll, as this whole story is linked to a wider, darker picture. Meanwhile, a family friend told the Sunday Mirror that they feared Chloe had been killed. The friend said, "They thought they would never see her alive again. She has been through hell. We just want to get her home." Anti-mafia cops are probing whether the shadowy crime syndicate known as the Black Death is behind the kidnapping, The Sun Online can reveal. The National Crime Agency aided the Italian authorities by carrying out a raid on Herba's second-floor Birmingham flat shortly after he was arrested. An NCA spokesperson confirmed the address was linked to Herba's family and was searched in connection with the investigation in Italy. The spokesperson said, "The National Crime Agency and the East Midlands Special Operations Unit have been providing support to the Italian authorities during this investigation." The NCA is also believed to be investigating the Black Death Group, the mysterious organization that operates on the dark web and claimed responsibility for the kidnapping. He said, "We collaborate with our international partners in order to make the dark web a less attractive place for criminals to operate, however we do not comment on specific websites or operations." Cops detained the British-based Pole in Milan and found a Black Death leaflet, which features Black Plague doctors from the 1300s, alongside a note to the victim explaining why she was being released. The note called her kidnapping a mistake because she was a mother of a 2-year-old and said our main and very well-respected men argued for her release. Chloe told police she was attacked by 2 men who reportedly demanded £270,000 in bitcoins to free her, a fee which was later negotiated down to £50,000 by the terrified model's agent. The Black Death, which is believed to operate in Eastern Europe, dates back to 1994 and is said to offer services including assassinations, bombings and arms dealing. According to Italian police sources, anti-mafia are investigating whether the infamous group was behind the depraved kidnapping. Joint investigations are being carried out in Italy, the UK and Poland in cooperation with the International Police Service as investigators try to identify Herba's accomplices. Italian police, who confirmed that no fee was paid online for the release of Chloe, have also revealed that one of the 2 cars used by Herba had a right-handed steering wheel and is most likely British, The Sun Online can reveal. Milan police officer Lorenzo Bucasi told reporters the group the suspect was allegedly working for offered mercenary services on the dark web. According to a translation on Sky News, Mr. Bucasi said, "Certainly the author of this very serious crime is a dangerous person, don't forget he was also ready to carry out a final solution, as he called it. He was a killer and was working for an organization on the deep web that is offering mercenary services such as bombing attacks, kidnapping and the selling of girls on the dark web." A spokeswoman for the Foreign Office said, "We have been providing consular support to a British woman in Italy and are in touch with local authorities." but authorities are still unclear whether the organization is legitimately involved in the selling of women or is simply a scam determined to fleece deviants out of bitcoins. In one of the group's alleged leaflets, it is claimed members have access to doctors who test the sex slaves for sexually transmitted diseases. It is also claimed that auctioned girls are transported globally by contractors. Tech writer Joseph Cox attempted to contact the group in 2015 after finding a link to an auction on Reddit. After sending an encrypted email claiming he was interested in the girl, "Want to see more photos first?" he was sent an aggressive response: "Who are you? How do you know about us? Who recommended us?" The pictures of two kidnapped women who were supposedly being auctioned were later revealed to be fake and from porn sites. While he was initially rebuffed, Cox eventually managed to negotiate with alleged members of the shadowy group. He was offered a place at an auction if he paid a deposit. In one email, an alleged member said, "We don't invite strangers to auctions. We don't want popularity. No people just looking around. No journalists or bloggers." Cox said that advisors at the National Crime Agency said customers at alleged auctions were unlikely to see their money again. He wrote, "Conclusively proving that Black Death is legitimate or fake is impossible without more information. If it was a scam site, they made it difficult for me to give them any money. If it was the real deal, then why do it on the dark web, when the trade already functions pretty well in the open?" Chilling images have emerged showing the suitcase and hellish basement dungeon where Chloe was held captive for a week. She was reportedly sent by her UK agent from Paris to Milan for the photo shoot on July 11. But when she arrived at a studio near Milan Central railway station, she was injected with ketamine, a drug which can cause muscle paralysis in her arm. Herba is alleged to have then tied her up and stuffed her inside a bag before driving 2 hours to Turin, where he chained her up inside a villa, La Stampa reported. Her harrowing ordeal worsened when he told her he would kill her if she reported him to police, Italian media reported.